Hey guys, hope everything is going well. You guys know that drill. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below. Follow me on Instagram at AIH underscore sports. Follow me on my finance channel at AIH Finance. Okay, so today I wanted to do a video on who is the biggest pumper. But before I do begin, I wanted to just say that over the past few weeks, I've noticed the comments, for the most part, have been less snarky. You may see some comments here and there, but it's died down as sports cards have gone lower. There was, for instance, a lot of people saying, "Oh, recession, when's the recession going to happen?" Right? And it actually happened much sooner than what I think it's going to happen. I mean, right now, according to the Atlanta Fed, I mean, they're forecasting 0% growth. I mean, so it could be slightly negative, it looks like. So that's technically a recession. But ultimately, I'm still looking at asset prices. And if the Fed reverses course, then all these prices, including cards, will have a temporary bounce. Crypto, stocks, etc. But putting all of that together, who is the biggest pumper? And it's not a guy on YouTube or Instagram or in this hobby. It's actually the Federal Reserve. So I think one time in one of my videos, I've known him for a while. It is Stacking Gems, aka Charles. And he says that, dude, why are you complaining about particular individuals? It's the Federal Reserve. They're the biggest pumper and dumpers. And I actually agree with that comment. Who is the biggest pumper? It's the Federal Reserve. And if people understand how the Federal Reserve works and they just understand just some basic concepts that I talk about, positive interest rates versus negative interest rates, I think people can basically buy before the pump and sell before the dump. It's not that hard. And I'm going to show videos looking at the junk slab era versus right now what's going on. And I've this was what I was forecasting over a year ago when people said that this is crazy. So in the comment section, oh, you're negative this, negative that, whatever, right? But ultimately, if you know the Federal Reserve, I believe you can make money in the market as long as you buy before they pump it up. So, what do I mean by pump it up? So, whenever, if you have positive interest rates, right? Economy is slightly turning down, not like this. I want to see economy turning down tremendously, like 2008, like in 2000, in 2020, right? Interest rates were positive. I've shown you the graph over and over again. And a lot of fear. People didn't want to buy cards. Sort of sentiment like this, but much worse on all types of assets. And then what the Federal Reserve does is then they lower interest rates way below where they should be in 2000 or during 9/11. They did that. They started lowering interest rates like crazy in 2008, 2009. That's when actually some of the cards were dirt cheap, where you could have bought. I saw the prices for the Sandy Koufax rookies. Some cards that were trading $10,000, and this was before the pandemic, some were selling way over $100,000. Now, I'm pretty sure if some of those cards got into auction, they would be selling for a ridiculous amount of money. 2020. Same thing. Economy is coming crashing down. Fed decided to pump it up. And this time there were a few things that were much different. We were locked in at home, more discretionary income, stimulus checks given to people, all of that, right? They pumped it up. They're the biggest pumper. They injected a ridiculous amount of funny money to the system. If I remember correctly, someone could correct me if I'm wrong, over $6 trillion they printed. So what were people doing? What were companies doing? What were entrepreneurs doing? They were just buying any asset they could because they saw the pump up. Real estate, crypto, sports cards, stocks, right? It just went up in a straight line. Now, this year, what was the difference? Instead of pumping it up, they were dumping, right? They decided, hey, we're going to start raising interest rates. And like I showed you, the 10-year tips is now positive. And whenever you're in a positive environment like it is, you will have that huge sell off. But in my opinion, there comes opportunities. That's why I keep on saying, hey, this looks like to be a dead cat bounce. I'm not buying it. Some people have messaged me saying, hey, what do you think about this car? I said, the value has tremendously gone down. Now, granted, if this guy wins a championship or wins an MVP, the car could go up, but I wouldn't buy it at this moment. Me, if I had all this money on hand, I'd probably wait. That's just my own preference because I do believe what we're seeing right now is a lot of fear. So when there's excess amount of fear, I like taking the other side of the trade. So I believe you get a slight push up in prices and then it goes back down. And what could cause some of this push for asset prices going up? They're pricing in the Fed rate hikes, or two, they may soon be pricing in the Federal Reserve actually stop raising rates, and then they'll be pumping it back up. Not to the extent of 2020, but they're going to cut rates. They're going to inject money. So it is what it is. Just understanding this basic concept, I think it's basic concept. I believe that people can thrive in this environment. And, it's not about, hey, let's be positive, let's be negative, or not negative, and let's be positive, right? This was the talk a lot by some people in the hobby saying, hey, let's be positive, because if we're positive, prices are going to go up, right? If you're negative, prices are going to go down. No, it has to deal with the macro. And if you don't understand the macro, then you're going to come up with all these excuses and you're going to say everyone that's negative should be canceled. I mean, that was probably, no offense, I think that was one of the wrong things to say from some of these influencers. Now, some people didn't know any better, so it may have not as been bad as, what I'm saying. I mean, if they're ignorant about it, okay, fine. Now, some people will be like, hey, it doesn't matter what the Federal Reserve is going to do because in any environment, prices go up 10 to 20%. I'm like, yeah, if you buy in the off season of certain players and certain cards, you could definitely make money. It's now a challenging environment. There's no doubt about it. But, once again, I've made returns 20-fold within a few years. Not 20%, 20-fold. That's why I'm not being as aggressive. It doesn't make sense to me because, I want to hit the home runs. I want to hit the grand slams. I don't want this like slow yield of 10 to 20%. I mean, that 10 to 20% helps if you're a dealer and you have millions of dollars worth of inventory, then okay, I get that part. But I'm not doing this full time investing millions of dollars in this. But yeah, it is what it is. Who do you think is the biggest pumper? I'm always going to say it's the Federal Reserve. And they're also the biggest dumper too. And a lot of people don't know this. And if they learn the Federal Reserve, the monetary system, then I believe that, they can make a lot more than what some of these people in the industry are saying, right? Industry people are saying, be positive, be positive. Probably the one of the worst things that I've seen. Even though, they didn't intentionally try to, or most of the people didn't intentionally try to hurt people. I think some people just try to come up with an excuse. But it is what it is, guys. Let me know what you think about that. Remember to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below, guys. Thank you. Bye.